With this pair of chaps, I did hit my leg twice. Cutting brush, which is what I did both times I hit my leg. I was brushing, swinging the saw side to side, and he hit his leg, cut right in the middle of his thigh. He ended up with, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 stitches. Today on In the Woodyard, chaps. I got a new pair. We're talking about chaps and why you need them. Well, you gotta wear them. Here we go. So the last time I was at Modern Rentals, I saw they had chaps and they had a sale going on. I got 25% off. These normally $120 for a pair, so I got them for less than $100, and that is awesome because I needed a new pair. This will be my fourth pair that I've had, and the reason I've had 4 pairs is because they don't last forever. Now I got a little story to tell you about a friend of mine. I got a friend who worked kind of as a pro-am logger, and he worked with another guy that was a professional logger, and that guy had a pair of chaps that he wore for 10, 12 years every day. He wore them all the time. But the problem is with chaps is that you get snags in them. They were soaked in oil and they were bad. They didn't look good. And a lot of the fiber that's on the inside, the stopping fiber that's in there, started migrating south, went down. So his boss made him get a new pair, bought him a new pair. I can't remember what happened, but anyway, this friend of mine said they thought, just for fun, let's just see how these chaps work, because they had never seen them really work. So they strapped his old pair onto a log, like a leg, and they ran the saw onto it. Well, those old chaps did not stop the saw. It stopped it eventually, but they were able to cut an inch or two into the log when they hit it. It went in. Yeah, it bound up eventually, but it didn't work the way they're supposed to work. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, the oldest pair of chaps that I have are these. I had a pair before these, but those were really bad and I chucked them. With this pair of chaps, I did hit my leg twice. Right here, where I hit it one time, this was the one that hit it hard. It was like being punched in the leg. I mean, like bam, punched. And then over here, I hit this spot right here, and it just barely ticked my leg, just that I felt it, but it wasn't bad. But it also stopped the saw. But now all of the stopping fiber, not all of it, but most of it, is down in the bottom here. It actually got ripped and went down, so obviously I had to get a new pair. This is still better than nothing, but not much. There was a guy that I know, was a friend of my dad's. This was probably 20 years ago. He was cutting wood by himself on his property. I think he was like 5 or 6 miles away from town, and he just had a pair of jeans on in the summertime. He hit his leg with his chainsaw. He was cutting brush, which is what I did both times I hit my leg. I was brushing, swinging the saw side to side, and he hit his leg, cut right in the middle of his thigh. He ended up with, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 stitches, 50 or 60, cut right into his thigh, almost to the bone, and there was no one around, so he was bleeding really bad. He just pushed on it and got in his car, drove himself to the hospital. When he got there, he got into the hospital and he passed out. That's how much blood he had lost. He lived, and they sewed him up, but that's about when we started wearing chaps, about that long ago. My dad says, we're getting some chaps. So my dad started wearing them, and then I got a pair, and it's important. It really will save you. The number one injury in chainsaws is to the legs. That's where you're gonna get the most injuries. I'm gonna show you a chart here that I saved from where they showed all the injuries.
So obviously, you look at this chart and you can see it's from 1994, which is a long time ago, but I'm sure that increase of accidents probably has happened because more people use chainsaws now. More people are buying saws not knowing what they're doing and probably not wearing safety gear. But as you can see, the only thing that's really safe is your right hand, because most people cut with the trigger with your right hand, and your left hand is up on the bar. So if you get a kickback or something, your natural instinct probably is to put your hand out to stop it, or you're reaching around when the saw is running or something like that. So that's just one of those things. And look at the left leg, obviously, because that's the one you're putting forward, because most people put their left foot forward if they're right-sided use. The head strikes are scary, obviously, you can see that, but very interesting. So look at that leg. Obviously, a knee is a place you don't want to be. You want some chaps on there, so very interesting. Just take a look at this. So wear your chaps, wear your safety gear.
And it's amazing how many different places you can get hit with a chainsaw and get hurt. The average chainsaw injury, stitches-wise, is like 110 stitches. So that's average. So that means some are more, some are less, but that's average. So wearing chaps is really cheap insurance. Now some guys will say, well, I don't need a pair of chaps, I don't cut that much. Well, if you don't cut that much, you need chaps more than a guy that cuts a lot, because guys that cut a lot are better with a saw than a guy that doesn't cut that much. So when you buy a chainsaw, buy chaps. If you're just new to cutting, get chaps. Wear the chaps every time you cut. You will be glad you did if you hit your chaps. You can get a new pair. Going to the emergency room is going to cost you $500, $1,000, plus all the grief you got to put up with. Get a pair of chaps. So if you're going to spend a few $100s on a chainsaw, minimum you can get a $50 pair of chaps. That's the minimum. And you should do it. You should also wear steel toe boots. You should also wear gloves. You should also wear a helmet, eye protection, ear protection. Is really important. So I myself have saved my leg twice by getting hit with these chaps that I have on. So the reason I didn't wear these anymore is because, like I said, they're toast, but I saved them just to show you guys. I saved them just to show people. And then I got a pair of Husqvarna. They're the bluish gray ones. I don't have them here today. They were like $70 or $80. And they're fine, and they worked. I don't have any holes in them yet, but they're getting pretty greasy, and I've had them for several years. And I just thought, you know, it's time to get a better pair. So I bought this pair of Husqvarna Technical full wrap on the ankle. They have a full wrap on the ankle. These are called their Technicals. What I really like is they've got the pocket here so you can put some tools in there, your scrunch, and then it also unbuttons on the bottom so you can dump out all the sawdust, because if you got a pocket, as you know, if you cut with a hoodie on like I do a lot, you're going to fill your pockets. It happens. It also has a pocket. Where is it here? I know there's another pocket. Oh, yeah, right here. It's got a pocket right here. You can put your scrunch in or some eye protection, stuff like that. So you've got that there. And these are full wraps, which means they go around your boots, around your ankles. There's 3 clasps on the bottom, and then there's one in the back. Like I said, these are like $120 a pair. And there are other ones you can get. There are arborist pants you can get that are really nice and lightweight. The minimum, though, is just get a basic pair to start with if you're going to be doing some cutting. I highly recommend it. No more different than a pair of safety boots. And when it comes to safety boots, steel toe boots, it's important to get ones that you're going to wear all the time and you're comfortable with, because hitting your toe is very easy to do with a chainsaw. Wearing a helmet, wearing eye protection, whether it's a screen, a shield, or glasses, and then wearing ear protection. I wear double ear protection. I wear plugs and muffs all the time, because I'm already losing my hearing in my left ear a lot because of shooting and running power equipment my whole life. So I'll be wearing these a bunch more. I'm pretty happy that I got them here. And Bert's over here. He's going to come over and he's got a pair of the Husqvarna pants that you wear. The reason I got these and not the pants is because I like to be able to put my chaps on when I'm going to be cutting and take them off when I'm not cutting, because I cut a lot on days when it's warm out. And I don't want to get any warmer, so I want to be able to take them off as soon as I can, because they do add a lot of warmth. And on the days when it is cold out, I wear long underwear, sometimes a couple pairs, a pair of jeans or insulated jeans, and then I also can put these over the top so I'm nice and cozy warm. So very important, wear the chaps. So Bert is here with his pants, because they just did a tree job today. You and Adam did a tree job, and he has the actual arborist style.
The actual pants. They go all the way around.
Yep. And what's nice is you've got the vents in the back you can open up for when it gets hot.
They're back here
somewhere. And it's kind of a lightweight material in the front, and you got a pocket for your scrunch right there too, so you can keep that in when you're climbing. And you said the pair, and you've got your suspenders, right?
Yep, so I got the suspenders that go with it. I actually got the button-on ones versus the clip-on ones, because they actually stay on. Right.
And you said all in, it was like $300 for that.
Yeah, it's probably about $300.
And some of the arborist pants that different companies make, I've seen them $500, $600.
Yep.
And Adam also has a pair of pants. His are, what are they called? Like, is it something like a chopper?
Yeah, I don't know what they're called, but they do almost look like a pair of blue
jeans. They look like a pair of jeans. And those are $250, $300.
Yeah.
But he said they're comfortable enough that you can wear all the time, so that's real nice too. But the important thing is that you do something. You should wear something, because, like I said, you will eventually hit your leg. I've done it. I know several guys have done it. Like I mentioned, friend of my dad's, he was cutting by himself, pair of jeans in the summertime, and he was about 5 miles from home on his property, and he cut into his thigh right down to the bone. Drove himself to the hospital. When he got there, he passed out. He lived, but he's got stitches from here to here across his thigh there, and his leg's not as strong as it was.
Yeah.
And that happened when he was, I think he was probably in his 50s when that happened. That had to be 30 years ago. So wear the chaps. I mean, it's the cheapest thing you can buy, I think.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, going to the ER is expensive.
It's at least a $500 deductible.
And then time off of work, not being able to work.
Not being able to work, so you don't have income.
To me, the worst part is having to listen to my wife say, I told you. How come you're so dangerous? You should be safe.
Why would your wife tell you that?
Well, because she wants the money to keep coming in. So.
Yeah, and what woman doesn't?
But yeah, well, and the thing is, most guys, a lot of guys I know, and I'm like this, you tend to just kind of want to get the work done. But sometimes you got to stop and be safe because you're going to save time. You're going to get more production done. And like we were talking, your pants are great, but they do get a little warm.
They do get a little warm in the summertime. I've also looked at getting a different pair that's more breathable, more vented on the backside, that they're supposedly nicer.
And I think I'm going to get a pair of vented ones too, some of the arborist type pants. And then the other alternative is you have these to put on if you got a pair of jeans on or something.
Yeah, or so if I'm out and I'm doing something I quick got to use it, I just throw them on. I've had these on a couple times when we've been doing chipping from some of our tree jobs just because they're easy to put on. I didn't have to go put these on.
Right, and Gavin's got a pair he wears all the time too.
He's got a pair like this that he wears all the time. I might have to get him another pair because he keeps growing like a weed. So.
And if he got hurt not having them on, your wife would basically kill you because he's more important
than 6 feet under somewhere back here.
So here's a pair of chaps that Bert wears, and these are the ones that are just the front covering ones. So you can see it's open and back, which is nice and airy. So they do breathe on hot days. They are kind of nice. But the bad thing is sometimes when you're cutting, you have your legs apart, and really the side of your leg, you can hook on brush. Your whole side of your leg and your shin can be exposed like this, which happens to me a lot. Brush will catch this, which is why I wanted to get the full wrap ones. And even sometimes you come around to this side, it can twist on you this way, and then your side of your leg is open here. And if you're cutting brush where you're swinging the saw, you can easily hit your leg. So it's better than nothing. But this does move quite a bit. And even if you tighten them up, they can still move on you. Sometimes I find too, I'll be cutting with my legs apart and I'll be cutting down in here. And this is all open in here. So that's why I think the full wraps are going to be better. So here's the new ones, the full wraps that I have. You can see obviously there's a lot more material here. So they're going to wrap around. I'm going to show you the easy way to put your chaps on. I'm slow, so this took me a while to figure out. It's hard to buckle it behind your back like this. So what you do is you go from the back, buckle it in the front, and then you spin it. It took me about 10 years to figure that out. I saw somebody doing it and thought, well, that makes sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is show you how I put these on. Basically, I just start on the right leg, clipping it down here, and then you bring these across, and then this overlaps here, which is a real big benefit to have this all overlap, because that way your whole shin is going to be covered. And I like my shins the way they are, so we're going to try to keep them like that. So basically snap these on. Now these come in different lengths. This is the 36 to 38 length. It goes by your inseam, and my inseam is actually more like a 34. What did I do wrong? Oh, there we go. My inseam is more like a 34, but the 36 fit me the best when I was looking at them, because then the next size up I think is like 40 to 42 or something like that. A little bit longer, and these are long enough to cover all the way down onto my boots and over my boots. And then the clips are just quick clips. Works really good. Now, one of the things I don't like, these take longer to put on and longer to take off, because there's 5 clips. You got the one on the waist. Actually, no, there's one here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 clips, whereas an old pair, like I've got the gray ones like this, there's a waist clip, and then a thigh clip, and then around your ankle. So there's only 5. So there's 9 clips. But because there's the 9 clips, they're going to stay on better. They're going to cover more. They aren't going to open up. So you can see this covers all the way around the back here. So way better. And no, they didn't give me these. I bought these because I wanted to be covered. Now, my old best friend Tony also has, I think he's got this exact same pair. Because I don't think Stihl makes a pair like this that I know of. Maybe they do, I don't know, but I know Tony bought these, and even though he's a big Stihl guy, he said he looked at them and he thought the Husqvarna ones were the best. So this is what he wears all the time too. And they're going to be really nice and bright, obviously, so that's a good thing, but I'm sure I'll cover them in oil because that does happen. But I really like them. They fit really nice. The only thing that I don't like is I find when I'm bending over a lot, if I'm bending down to pick up logs, this belt tends to rise up and get above my jeans, and then my jeans are below, or my belt is below this belt. So what I would like to do maybe is to have some type of a hook that I can get it so it doesn't rise up on me, because it is kind of a pain when you're working and you're lifting and stuff, especially if you got coats on. It's hard to get the strap so it stays below your belt right here. So that's one thing I don't like about these versus like the pants like Bert has. But yeah, these feel really nice. I feel protected. So on my way home, I stopped at my studio, my old wood yard, and that's where I had my old Chaps, which I was going to show you, but I didn't have them with me, but they were here, so I thought I'd show you them. These are the gray ones. These are like $70 a pair, something like that. They're not terrible. They do have a couple little cuts on them, but they're very oily on the front because I wipe my hands a lot of times on the Chaps, and I just know they're not as good as they once were, and I've had these for, I don't know, 3-4 years. They also have just the single waist strap and then a thigh strap and then an ankle strap like Bert's orange ones. I do have a cut right here too. I see there's a little bit of stuff starting to come out, so in a pinch, they're better than nothing, but it was time to upgrade and get the better pair. I also think that having the brighter pair makes me a little safer because people can see me working, especially if I'm working with the other guys and we're doing a tree job. These are gonna be way better. So these also are Husqvarna, and like I said, I've had these a long time. My dad's got a pair like this. I think my brother's got a pair just like this. And for a little bit more money, you get way better Chaps with these technical ones. And like I said, they've got the pocket on the thigh here that you can empty with the snaps right here, so you can empty out sawdust, which will happen. And it's got a pocket up on top too. So old, new. So there you go. That's it for today, folks. Hit the buttons. We're back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. with another video. Right now, go watch all the other videos. There's 1,400. Good night, Irene.
Good night, Irene.